Dolphins fans, what is going on? It's Ben Morgan. It's the Fins Up Network, and it is playoff football for our Miami Dolphins. And no, it's not the way we wanted to enter the postseason, losing two in a row, falling from the 2 seed to the 6 seed, going from home games to road games. That's not what we wanted. But guess what? It's playoff football. We haven't won a playoff game in, 2+ decades? This is an opportunity. We have got a shot here. It's not really like last year when we made it and we were down Tua and needed to start Skylar Thompson. Yeah, we had a lot of injuries. Absolutely. But can we get it done? Did we already hang with the Chiefs once? It's a lot that's working against us right now. But at the end of the day, it's a 4-point spread. We have got a shot in this one, Dolphins fans. It's playoff football, baby. We made the dance. Let's embrace it. So let's discuss some Dolphins Chiefs. We're talking wild card weekend preview. We're talking top matchups. We're talking keys to victory. We got some observations from the meeting between the two teams earlier this year. Now, obviously, being on the road, now we are forced to talk a little bit about the weather as well. Yes, we have all become meteorologists, checking our phones and our apps, looking at weather in Kansas City. It's all going to be on our search history now is Kansas City weather for the foreseeable future. But one more thing before I jump into everything for today's action. If you've got questions that you would like addressed on the final preview and prediction video this week, go ahead, drop them into the comments. Try to get to as many as possible. We talked about that first matchup. Back in week 9, it was the overseas game. It was the game in Frankfurt, Germany. Chiefs won it 21-14. If you remember, it was a tale of two halves. Chiefs were up 21-0 at halftime. And quite honestly, it was 14-0 with our Miami Dolphins driving right before half. Unfortunately, you know how this one plays out. Tua hits Tyreek on a quick screen, gets the ball stripped. The Chiefs recover. They pitch it back. They house it. They're now up 21 points at halftime. The half couldn't have ended worse. But man, we started coming back in the third quarter. We got 2 third-quarter touchdowns. One to Cedrick Wilson from Tua, one that Raheem Mostert ran in. We cut the lead to 7. As you know, that's where the scoring ended. If you look at what the Chiefs did, though, where they had their success, they got their first drive. They marched. They absolutely marched down the field. Mahomes went 5 of 6. The incompletion that he had on that drive was actually a dropped touchdown in the end zone. It was originally ruled a touchdown. They reviewed it. It was turned incomplete. However, they ended up scoring the next play, 2 plays later, on an 11-yard screen pass to Rashee Rice. And if you remember that, it was an absolutely brilliant play call. They're at the 11-yard line. Vic Fangio dials up a blitz. They hit a screen pass at the perfect time. Basically, gets a block or 2. He walks into the end zone. Now, our defense did settle down a little bit after giving that up. We forced 3 straight punts. Well, what's the issue? We didn't really capitalize on offense. Like I said, we didn't score until the third quarter of this one. We made them punt 3 straight times. Then we gave up our second and the defense's final touchdown of the game in the second quarter, which was a 13-play, 95-yard drive. Pretty damn methodical. They had one awesome third down completion in that. Otherwise, it was first down, second down, and then they'd get a first down. First down, second down, then they'd get a first down. Mahomes and the offense were in control. It was capped off by a 17-yard Mahomes to Jerick McKinnon touchdown pass. Now, the name that you're going to notice we haven't said yet that you always hear when you talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce. And I know he's not having one of his better seasons, but yeah, at the end of the day, this is a top, 2 or 3 guy to ever play the position. You always need to know where Travis Kelce is. You always need to try to contain him. He's the number 1 guy on this offense that you need to contain. And we did that back in week 9, 3 catches, 14 yards, 4 targets. Fangio dialed up a gem. We saw a lot of zone coverage. We saw some bracket coverage. We even saw the use of Jalen Ramsey in some of that coverage. I think Ramsey came back against the Patriots. I think this was the second game that Ramsey was back, and he was helping out big time in that assignment with Travis Kelce. Now, my assumption for this game is that Fangio's probably going to have to change it up a little bit. You're not going to be able to just carbon copy your game plan because the Chiefs are going to switch up their game plan and how to attack and find ways to get Kelce more involved. You're going to want to try to target him more than 4 times. But one thing I wouldn't be surprised to see of more use of Jalen Ramsey in helping out in that coverage again this week, especially because Kansas City doesn't really have that go-to wide receiver that Miami has to key in on and attempt to erase in this game, which quite honestly, when you look at the Chiefs offense this year, that's been one of their issues. Rashee Rice has been nice. He's been a good rookie. But between consistency issues, route running issues, and drops, Chiefs wide receivers has been one of the biggest issues for their offense this year. Right away in the intro, I talked about getting your weather app out because unfortunately, with us not playing in Miami this week, we're playing in Kansas City, Arrowhead. There's going to be some concerns at this point in time. So obviously, with not winning last week, securing the 2 seed, we're traveling to Kansas City. The forecast looks great if you're a Penguin. Let's put it that way. And unfortunately, it's not the Penguin that we have. When I looked it up on Wednesday, I'm recording this Wednesday night, the weather forecast is predicting for what would go down as the 3rd lowest temperature for a game in NFL history. I don't like that. Looking to be around -5 or 6 degrees, winds gust from 20 to 25 miles per hour, and there's at least a chance of snow. So yeah, this is obviously a concern of mine, likely yours, for a variety of reasons. First, we're the Dolphins. We historically don't play well in cold weather games. We play in Miami. It kind of comes with the territory. Second, even recently, the success has not been promising. We've lost 10 straight games when the temperature at kickoff has been 40 degrees or below. And third, and potentially most importantly, Tua Tagovailoa has never started an NFL game, a game in general, where the temperature at kickoff has been 29 degrees or lower. So now what are we doing? We're taking our offense on the road where we already haven't been as effective, as efficient compared to when we're at home. There's really no disputing that. And now only are we not dealing with the crowd noise and the hostile environment at Arrowhead. That's one of the toughest places to play in the NFL. We've got to factor in temperature. We got to factor in wind. We've got to factor in possibly snow for an offense that uses a lot of motion. That's kind of timing based. And I shouldn't say kind of timing based. It's very timing based. Quite honestly, the weather in general is one of the biggest concerns that I have heading into this game. So my next couple of points that I'm going to bring up here is how can the Dolphins potentially combat some of these issues? And the first thing that I have here is you got to make the Chiefs defense respect the speed that we have. We're the fastest team in the NFL. We're the fastest team for my money in NFL history. We're going to have to take some shots downfield in this game. And quite honestly, hope the wind cooperates this. Tua talked about this on Wednesday and said, yeah, pregame is going to tell us a lot. How's he gripping the ball? How's he ripping the ball? How's it cutting through the wind? We know he doesn't have the world's strongest arm. We know his arm is fine, but that wind, that cold, that weather, that can be huge. And if you look at the Chiefs' pass defense, that's actually one of their top strengths. They're ranked 4th in pass defense in NFL this year. They held Tua already back in week 9 to just 193 passing yards. But this, in my opinion, is likely going to be a ground and pound, grounded out type of game where we need to try to keep the Chiefs defenders out of the box, though, because of the way that I think that game is going to play out. And that's only going to try to have to help with an efficiency and effectiveness of the run game. So if we can hit some of those deep shots, hey, even better. But at the end of the day, we have to use our speed on the outside with guys like Tyreek Hill. Hopefully Jalen Waddle is back. We need to try to help open up some of the field for us. But I also talked about the importance of that run game because at the end of the day, like I said, that's going to be the driver of this game, the driver of the offense. We go back to that week 9 matchup. The team had 21 carries, 117 yards. That's 5.6 yards per carry. That's pretty damn good. Raheem Mostert led the way, 12 carries, 85 yards, and the touchdown we talked about. Jeff Wilson saw just 2 carries for 6 yards, and this was actually a game that Devon Achane missed. Now, for the season, you look at the Chiefs' defense, ranked 19th against the run. They're allowing 113 yards per game on the ground. So if there's a statistical weakness to this defense, it's definitely the run defense compared to the pass defense. So one, hopefully we have Mostert back. He was listed as a limited participant in the Wednesday practice. If he can't go, if he's not himself, hopefully Jeff Wilson can continue to run hard between the tackles. We've seen him do that the last couple, 2-3 weeks. And then hopefully our rookie sensation continues to do it. Devon Achane, I fall into that trap still every once in a while. Hopefully Devon Achane can continue this impressive rookie season that he has put together. But quite honestly, at the end of the day here, when you look at the running game, an effective run game is going to do a lot of things. It's going to help control the clock. it's going to help us in those second and third and manageable situations. I go back to that Cowboys game. Why were we so effective offensively? Even though we settled for a lot of field goals, look at how we did on first down in that game. We were getting 4 to 6 yards per pop. It was making second and third down for us so much easier, so much manageable, opened the playbook up so much more to us, whether it was running it again or being able to throw the ball. That was huge in that game. And then obviously the run game can help preoccupy those defenders and help open up those throwing lanes for those timing routes. So yeah, we're going to have to ground it out. Hopefully we hit some of those deep shots and really keep some of those guys out of the box in the process. That is what I have got for today's preview. But like I said, I've got one more preview and prediction video coming yet for this week. So if you've got any questions you would like answered in that one, go ahead, drop them in the comments. That is my time for today, though, Miami Dolphins fans. And until next time, fins up.